Hey, everyone. It seems like everyone's jumping on this whole side hustle train lately.
Mhm.
Everyone's trying to figure out how to make some extra cash online.
Right.
And Fiverr has become this huge, like massive marketplace for just about anything you can think of.
It really has, yeah. It seems
Yeah.
like it's almost impossible to
Go ahead.
like scroll for 5 minutes without seeing some kind of ad or video
Yeah.
promising the secrets to,
Well, yeah.
yeah, striking it rich on Fiverr.
Totally. And that's kind of what sparked today's deep dive.
Okay.
We're looking at this YouTube video by this guy, Dave Nick Daly.
Yeah.
And he makes a pretty bold claim right off the bat.
Okay.
He says you can make $5,750 a week on Fiverr without any skills.
Okay.
Now, I don't know about you, but
Yep.
that definitely got my attention.
Yeah, a healthy dose of skepticism is always good when it comes to these sorts of online income claims.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but Dave's video is interesting.
Yep.
It gives us a glimpse into how people are,
Yeah.
approaching Fiverr these days. So,
Okay, so let's break this down.
yeah.
When he says no skills, what is he even talking about?
Yeah.
Because he's not saying like, oh yeah, you can magically become this coding whiz overnight.
Right.
He's suggesting that you don't even need to do the services yourself.
Exactly.
No, which is so...
Dave's strategy really revolves around this idea of arbitrage,
Okay.
which is essentially,
So you're like the middleman.
yeah, exactly. You're the connector.
Okay.
You're the one who's identifying the opportunity where there's demand for a particular service, and then you outsource the actual work to someone else,
Okay.
maybe for a lower price, and you pocket the difference.
Gotcha.
Now,
Yeah.
this could be a legitimate business model,
Right.
but it does have,
Yeah.
it's got its own
Challenge.
challenges and considerations for sure.
Especially if you're aiming for that $5,750 a week.
Right. Because
'Cause-
let's be real.
Yeah, that's pretty ambitious.
It is ambitious. And to be fair to Dave,
Yeah.
he does lay out a bunch of different methods
Okay.
that he claims can get you there.
Okay.
He calls it his Fiverr playbook.
Okay.
Um,
So, like, one of the first things he talks about is this idea of selling leads.
okay.
And he makes it sound, again,
Yeah.
very simple.
Yeah.
Like, you just get some free software.
Yeah.
Like, scrape business info off of Google Maps,
Mm-hmm.
package it up all nice,
Right.
and boom, you're selling valuable business leads.
Okay.
Is that even, like...
That's where things get a little
Yeah.
murky, you
Right.
know,
Okay.
because while scraping publicly available data,
Okay.
it can be okay in some cases.
Okay.
It's really important to be aware of and comply with, whatever platforms you're on,
Right.
their terms of service, any local laws,
Mm-hmm.
regulations regarding data collection, privacy, all that.
Okay. So maybe not as simple as it sounds at first.
Right, exactly.
Then he talks about this gig. He calls it website wizardry.
Okay.
And this one relies on using these like
Sure.
AI website builders,
Yeah.
like Mixo is one that he mentions,
Right.
to create these super basic websites for clients.
Yeah, and there's definitely a demand for that on Fiverr,
Oh, really?
for your basic website creation.
Okay.
Because-
So people are paying for that.
Yeah, I mean, these tools like Mixo
Okay.
are great for getting
Yeah.
a bare bones site up and running.
Right. But could you charge top dollar for something that
That's a good question.
someone could essentially do themselves if they just like...
Right? Yeah, I think pricing on Fiverr really comes down to
Okay.
how complex the work is,
Okay.
how much customization is involved.
Right.
And while AI tools,
Mm-hmm.
they can really speed things up.
Okay.
Clients, they often have very specific requirements.
Yeah. Of course.
That may require
Okay.
more work, additional expertise.
Got it.
So it's not quite as easy as
Right.
clicking a button and then just watching the money roll in.
Right. It takes a little more than that.
Exactly. It's finding that balance between,
Yeah.
leveraging the technology,
Yeah.
but also providing
Yeah.
genuine value to your clients.
And speaking of technology, Dave seems very gung-ho on
Yeah.
AI for all of this stuff. He
Yeah.
talks about this other tool
Okay.
called, I think it's called Visa.
Okay.
And you can use this to create these, short form videos
Right.
that are all the rage these days.
Totally.
And he makes it sound like this tool, Visa,
Yeah.
will practically edit the videos for you.
It's true that AI is really
Yeah.
changing the game when it comes to video creation and editing.
Right.
There are tools now that can automate a lot of those tasks that used to be really tedious, like cutting clips, adding transitions,
Right.
even generating captions and stuff.
Yeah, that's wild.
Crazy.
So does that mean that anyone with a smartphone
Well,
And a Wi-Fi connection can just become this, like...
it's not quite that simple.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
these tools are incredibly powerful,
Okay.
but there's still an art and a skill to
Right.
crafting a compelling narrative,
Right.
understanding pacing,
Right.
really capturing the viewer's attention.
Sure.
And those are skills
Yeah.
that take time and practice to develop,
Yeah.
regardless of what tools you're using.
Right. It can help you, but it's not going to do everything for you.
Exactly. And, Dave talks about a couple of writing-based gigs, too, in his playbook.
Okay.
He's a big proponent of AI writing tools.
Okay, so like what? Like Grammarly?
Well, he mentions one specifically called SoWriting.a.
So writing.a. Okay.
Yeah, and he claims this thing can churn out blog posts like,
What? Really?
yeah, in seconds.
Get out of here.
He's not kidding. He even calls one of his gigs the blog post machine.
Okay.
It's like you get the client brief, you feed it to the AI,
Right.
boom, instant content.
Wow. Okay, so is this like the video editing thing where...
It's interesting you say that because there are a lot of parallels.
Interesting.
AI writing tools,
Yeah.
they can be really helpful,
Okay.
for generating ideas, getting past writer's block,
Right.
maybe even like a rough first draft.
Right, but they're not going to write like
Yeah.
the next great American novel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
And I think especially with something like blog posts,
Okay.
where so much of it depends on
Yeah.
having a specific brand voice,
Right.
knowing your target audience,
Hmm.
SEO strategy,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of human expertise that needs to go into
Right.
taking that AI-generated content and turning it into something
Right.
that's actually valuable.
That makes sense.
And it's not just blog posts either.
Really?
Dave actually claims you can write entire ebooks using AI.
What? Okay, now that's just getting crazy.
Yeah, he calls it his ebook alchemist gig.
Ebook alchemist. What is this guy? Like some kind of...
Right. He's got a name for everything.
He's got a whole, like,
But he even provides a specific ChatGPT prompt
Okay.
that he claims can
Out of here.
practically magic up an entire ebook
Nope.
based on just a few keywords.
Right. Now that I got to see to believe.
It's understandable to be skeptical
Yeah.
because while it's true that AI can generate
Yeah.
a lot of text very quickly,
Right.
the quality and coherence of that text can vary.
So you could end up with an ebook that sounds like
Right.
a robot wrote it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Clear ones?
And even if the writing itself
Yeah.
is halfway decent,
Right.
there's still the work of structuring the ebook,
Okay.
making sure all the information is accurate,
Right.
giving it that kind of personality and expertise.
Right. Making it sound like a real person.
Exactly. That would make someone want to actually read it.
Okay, so it's not just about the words. It's
Yeah.
about the whole package.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, that makes sense.
And this kind of leads to another point that Dave emphasizes a lot,
Yeah.
which is using AI not just to be more efficient,
Okay.
but also to offer your services at a much lower price.
Right, because if you're not spending hours and hours
Right.
like writing that ebook or editing that video,
You got it.
then you can charge less. Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Dave really hammers this home in his video,
Okay.
especially when he's talking about,
Yeah.
attracting those first crucial clients.
Right, because you got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
You need those first few clients to kind of...
Yeah, those first few good reviews.
Right, to get the ball rolling.
He's all about undercutting the competition early on
Makes sense.
to get those 5-star reviews.
Okay.
He even suggests going into these online communities where Fiverr sellers are actually trading reviews.
Oh, really? Like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing.
Exactly.
Interesting.
He even mentions one specifically,
What's it called?
online business friends.
Online business friends? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess collaborating with other sellers could be a good way to,
Sure.
network, get advice, support each other.
Totally.
But this whole like review exchange thing,
Yeah.
it feels a little, I don't know.
It's definitely a gray area.
Yeah, it seems kind of shady.
Because Fiverr, like a lot of online marketplaces,
Right.
they really value those authentic reviews.
Right, of course.
And while there's nothing wrong with,
Yeah.
connecting with other sellers,
Right.
giving them genuine feedback, trying to artificially inflate your reviews through trades or any other...
Right, like disingenuous.
Right. That can actually hurt you in the long run.
Because if people start to realize that those glowing reviews aren't legit,
Exactly.
then they're not going to trust you as much.
Exactly. Trust and authenticity are huge
Right.
in the online marketplace.
Makes sense.
Buyers want to know
Right.
that the person they're hiring
Yeah.
can actually deliver
Right.
on what they're promising.
Right. Nobody wants to get scammed.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it seems like Dave's strategy of,
Mm-hmm.
always racing to the bottom on price,
Okay.
maybe cutting corners with reviews.
Right.
Might not be the most
Sustainable?
sustainable or ethical approach.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Now, all that being said, Dave's video is not without merit.
Okay.
He clearly knows Fiverr really well,
Okay.
and he understands
Yeah.
how important it is to market yourself effectively.
To stand out
Exactly.
because it's such a crowded space.
It is.
Yeah.
And he makes a really good point about
Yeah.
specialization.
Finding your niche.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
He talks about how important it is to not try to be everything to everyone.
Right.
You know, don't spread yourself too thin.
All right.
Really focus on a specific type of service
Okay.
or target audience.
So instead of being a jack of all trades,
Right.
be a master of one.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that mastery
Yeah.
becomes your unique selling proposition.
Right. It's what sets you apart.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Whether you're using AI tools
Mm-hmm.
or relying solely on your own skills.
Right. So it's about finding that sweet spot between
Yes.
what you're good at and what people will pay for.
You got it. That's a really valuable insight,
Okay.
regardless of what you think about the rest of Dave's strategy.
Yeah, it's about finding what makes you stand out in that sea of gigs. Right?
Exactly. And that actually brings us to kind of a fascinating question that Dave's video raises.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, as AI becomes more and more a part of freelancing, how do we even define value and authenticity
Ooh.
in this, like, new world?
That's a big one.
It is. It is.
So, like, okay, let's say I'm a client and I need a logo.
Okay.
Right. So I go on Fiverr, I hire someone to design it, they go plug some keywords into an AI, and bam,
Yeah.
out pops this really cool logo. Is
Right.
that their design?
That's the question, isn't it? It's a question that's causing a lot of debate.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, and rightfully so, because, you know,
Yeah.
on the one hand, the freelancer is using the tools available to give the client what they want. But then on the other hand, like, where does AI end?
Right. Where's the line?
Yeah. And human creativity begin, you know?
Yeah. And what about, like, being upfront about it?
Right. Transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should freelancers have to tell their clients, hey, I use AI for this?
That's a huge,
Especially if it's a big part of what they're doing.
it's a huge ethical thing to consider.
Right.
And I don't think there's like a one-size-fits-all answer,
Right.
but being transparent
Yeah.
can really help build trust with clients.
Totally.
Like, imagine if you found out that a painting you bought
Oh, yeah.
that you thought an artist had painted every single brushstroke of
Yeah.
was actually mostly made by AI.
Right. You'd feel ripped off.
You'd probably feel a little misled,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, totally.
It's like you're not just paying for the finished product, you're paying for the skill,
Yeah.
the creativity that went into it.
The human element.
Right. And that feels different.
Yeah.
If the computer did most, if the work.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah, and that gets to the heart of it, right? Like, what is value?
Exactly.
If what I want as a client is like that human touch,
yes.
that, you know, specific artistic style,
That unique vision.
that's not something AI can do.
Right. At least not yet.
Right. It can't replace that. So it sounds like the freelancers who are really going to thrive in this new world
yeah.
are going to be the ones who can use AI to, like you said before,
Yeah.
enhance their skills, not replace them. Exactly.
It's about finding that balance
Right.
between using the tech but also offering something
Yeah.
that's uniquely you.
Okay, so like maybe the AI can generate a bunch of different logo ideas,
Right.
but then the human comes in and says, okay, this one's good, but it needs this or that.
Exactly. You're still the one making those judgment calls.
Right.
You're the one with the artistic vision.
You're the expert.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
It's about having that oversight,
Right.
that judgment that elevates the work beyond
Yeah.
what an algorithm can do on its own.
I like that.
Yeah.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
It feels like we're just at the very beginning of figuring out
Oh, yeah. The big
how
stuff.
this is all going to play out.
Totally.
Maybe we need to have Dave back on in a year.
Yeah. That would be fun.
See what's changed.
See what he's come up with.
Right, because who knows what it'll be like then.
Exactly. Who knows what Fiverr will even look like in a year or two?
Right, exactly. It changes so fast.
It really does.
Well, hey, this has been awesome, but we want to hear from you.
Yes.
What do you think about all of this AI stuff?
Yeah.
Is it going to take over the world, or
Right.
is it just a tool?
Exactly.
Let us know. We're on all the socials.
Come find us.
And as always, thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
We'll see you next time.